there's not much to really like. They had the nominations. I might actually get that up on screen while I talk. We was gonna probably go through all of them, maybe vote on the ones I want to vote for. But as I said before, one of my ongoing sleeping problems and my keyboard being fucking shit right now and won't type properly. I don't know if I'm going to have the energy to go through all that and then do some drawing. So I want to keep. That's the sucky thing about this whole sleep problem is like not knowing how much energy I have. I have to keep if I have a specific thing I want to do, and I have to keep the other thing short so I can guarantee I have enough energy to at least do the other things. So I think we'll go through some of the nominations. And just have a brief discussion on some of the different things. Because I don't have like much thoughts on ones I think that were snubbed from the awards, but I do have some that I feel there's only like a handful. But let's see. No, it's not one. We're not playing any games today. I have it. Yeah, we go. So we'll start with the first and most obvious one when it comes to the game awards is Game of the Year. Because for those who don't know, about a couple of months ago, maybe 2 months ago, we saw the Joystick Game Awards, the Golden Joystick Game Awards, which had none of this, or this in it. Which shortly afterwards, I forgot to mention, they then released their Ultra Game of the Years, which did have these on them. And it makes me wonder, did they get a lot of backlash for not having them on there? So they added an extra category. Not the Game Awards, the Joystick Awards. But the topic came to question of like, so they put theirs on there and these are on here. But my main concern was still about last year's winner. I'm not one to usually say a game doesn't deserve Game of the Year. Even if it's a game I never played, I go, yeah, no, I get that. Like, Elden Ring's always the best example. Never didn't play it, but I saw why that won Game of the Year. Last year's one being Astro Bot still confused me because it's not a bad game. It's just generic platformer to me. And it was just like so confused why that won. And it made me feel like the Game Awards and other award shows were rigged. So that the fact that these aren't on here does Expedition, Hades 2, Silksong, and Kingdom Come Deliverance are on here. It shows maybe not, but if even though I've seen a lot of people talk about these, because these ones make sense, because I haven't played this yet. I'm gonna be getting it for Christmas, so I'll play it then. I haven't played this yet, but I've seen enough people say that these are their game of the year. So these being on here isn't out of the ordinary. But even if either these two do win it, then it's definitely rigged. I'm sorry, but like these are great from what I've heard, but I've heard more on these than any of the others. Out of all of them, we'll have to wait and see in December though. My personal one is Expedition, obviously. That is definitely 1000% my one of this year. But if Hades or Silksong or Kingdom Come win it, that would be fine with that, because like I said, these are amazing games that definitely deserve it as well. Not to say these don't, but I just feel like when I think about like games that have done something that's innovative. I mean, I'm basing it from what I've seen. But do you know what? One thing I will say about this being, this could be good for Nintendo, because even if this doesn't win, this might show Nintendo to not be afraid to do games of their lesser characters or IPs. Because Donkey Kong was still such a bizarre one for them to choose, not a Mario one. Donkey Kong. And I think that's kind of really, or maybe make more Donkey Kong games. But yeah, be interesting to see. A lot of people, I think what's so impressive about Play Obscure is that a lot of times there is a lot of like recency bias when it comes to the one that ends up winning, because it usually tends to be games that came out like a couple of months before the Game Awards, because people have it more fresh in their mind. But the fact that this had staying power throughout the year, that people were still talking about it, is a testament to its game. Also, one thing, it's also nominated for best indie game, best debut indie game company, and I said they are indie. An indie company is someone who's not owned by a big publisher. Like, for example, well, technically Sony doesn't own this, but this would be like the good, I guess, somewhat of an example. But no, I guess Naughty Dog could be the good example. If a Naughty Dog game was nominated, if there was a Naughty Dog game out this year, if this was nominated for that would still be AAA because it's owned by a big corporation. This is not. Soundfall Entertainment isn't owned by any of the major big corporations. Yes, a big corporation helped publish it, but they don't own it. It's like, for say, example, with Stellar Blade. Sony helped publish it, but they don't own it. That sort of thing. But what was the... Oh, thanks. Oh, no, I think... No, go back. Okay, fine. We'll click all the categories again. What was the other one that I wanted to talk about? That I feel like was a snub. Oh, I know what it is. Where is it? Best action. Where is it? It's best adaptation I'm looking for. And best ad. Is that? Yes, this is it. This is one of the ones where I'm like, why the fuck is this? Oh, it's kind of cut off here. But over here is Until Dawn. I feel like Sony keeps buying their ways into a lot of these. Because I was listening to a podcast and they're pointing out, like, for Game of the Year, because technically Death Stranding it's like one of those technically Sony things, has been in the Game of the Year nominations for 9 years. And that's why I feel like Until Dawn is here, because from what I heard from Until Dawn, it wasn't great. The Until Dawn movie, because because a good adaptation is something that brings to life the adaptation. It doesn't have to be like a one-to-one recreation, but it has to have that thing that made that thing good. While the Until Dawn one, from what I saw, was completely devoid of the original source material. So that being nominated is such... Why the fuck? Why not Sonic? A lot of people are mad. I'm mad too. Why not Sonic the Hedgehog 3, sorry. Yeah, that came out in December of last year, but it should still be on here as an adaptation. Because that was fucking amazing, but it's not there. It feels like Sony buyed their way into there so that they could have 2 of their shit on here for adaptation. So they can at least somewhat guarantee that The Last of Us would win. Which I heard with this was like, it was like a mixed bag of opinions. This I didn't end up watching, nor did I see this, or I don't really care about Splinter Cell. The main reason I didn't watch this, I think I said this before, but the arrogance of the creator pissed me off. Because apparently, this was from an interview I saw in the video, he was mad that DMC5 existed because he wanted his thing to come out and bring back the franchise. Revitalize the franchise. I just don't like that kind of arrogance that you think your stuff is such hot shit it was going to bring back the franchise. That you don't want a game to have existed that was actually really good. I'm sorry, but that kind of arrogance pissed me off, so I refused to watch it because of the creator's arrogance. To think that his stuff is that good that it's going to bring back the franchise. That's not why you make stuff. You make stuff because you want to do your own adaptation, not because you want to be the guard that brings things back to brings the franchise back to life. Because DMC was dead sort of after the reboot they did, but they came back with 5. But the one I think I could see win is going to be this. Let's be honest, it's going to be the Minecraft movie. But still, this is the only one where I thought, like, why not Sonic? That's the only one I feel like was just like such a snub. Why didn't you put Sonic there? Why is... It definitely feels like Sony bought their way into that one. I don't think there was any others that I wanted to talk about, because pretty much every other nomination was like, yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. I think, like, best mobile game, it was kind of annoying that Zenless wasn't here. Like, I get Genshin, because Genshin Zero was like, in my opinion, but Zenless this year was just really good. I get why this is here. Let's be before we know why this is here, and this is what's gonna win. I feel like it's going to be I can't even pronounce his name. But yeah, I don't think there was like any others that I feel like were things were missing from it. Oh, I guess like also best RPG not having the Digimon time shows. I don't think time shows would have won it, but it would have been still cool of it to be nominated at least as for like best RPG. You know, I haven't quite finished it. I feel like I shouldn't have been on here. That's here. That is wild. Because I don't know. Monster Hunter Wilds. I wouldn't consider RPG. These and these and these I would, but this still feels weird too. But yeah, I think that's definitely it. There's not any others I want to discuss about. They feel like that I personally felt like were that something was missing from it. I mean, it's cool that at least Best Family Game isn't all Nintendo this year. It's like 2 Nintendo games, 2 Lego, and then Sonic. This is probably going to win it. Or probably, I think maybe this. Because Mario Kart was alright. Like, Mario Kart wasn't bad, it was just kind of okay. I haven't got around to playing Sonic either. Sonic Cross Worlds. But anyway, that's kind of my thoughts on the Game Awards. Would be interesting to see who ends up winning Game of the Year. I really hope I'm wrong about like these being rigged, because I said this before. My main reason for thinking about this was stuff like last year's winners, as well as like Baldur's Gate winning the previous year shook up the industry, showing that indie game companies can do stuff on the same level as AAA companies and better, pretty much forcing their hands to try and actually do something amazing with their games. And it kind of scared the shit out of them for being lazy with their games, just making prettier versions of them, but not doing anything really game innovation to it. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens where it's the 11th of December. I don't end up watching it live because it's like late at night for me, and it's like 4 hours usually. So I will probably watch it in the morning and see what's what. Honestly, also one side note on the Game Awards. I think the Game Awards should just either stick to games and not announcements. Jeff Keighley has like 2 throughout the year. He doesn't need a 3rd one now, or at least keep the game announcements to 3 announcements, not several fucking announcements. Have 1 at the start, 1 in the middle, and 1 at the end. You don't need several of these. But yeah, that's my final thoughts on the Game Awards, and I